Welcome back into the workshop for a bit of a Dave's Diary entry sort of video. And this one is a novice's idea, and take it for what that means, but I have noted that sometimes things don't go quite according to your measurements, and it's so close, it's really hard to counter the problem that issue might have. And you go, okay, what are you talking about? Cut to the chase. Well, I've got 5 bench dogs, and I'm going to say 6, but I just can't find the other 2 at the moment. But it's where the bench dog itself can be used as your gauge. You go, yeah, okay, you're already doing that. And I'll go, hold on. You can get some bench dogs like this that are perfectly round. They are my pins. That's my no wriggle pin. Oh, here's the other ones. Or other one. Where's the... Anyway, and these are my wiggle pins. Why is that? Well, they're 1/10 of a millimetre smaller than that. You go, oh, that's not going to make much difference. Oh, yes, it is. That 1/10 can be the difference between something fitting and something not fitting. Just. So, by combining different bench dogs, you can put your rails up against them to run your, say, in this case, what I'm talking about is for routers, up against the rail or whatever piece that you're using. Like I did with some of that there, I used that on its flat to act as my stop for my router to rest up against. So I routed out the plate for the router lift. Not content with that, I thought, oh, hang on, I've got all these other bench dogs, and they're not consistent in size between one and the other. So this one, having a flat on it and a round on it, means that I can rest up against the stock there that I've got, or I can turn it to get a different measurement. Now, that might not be the right one, so I could perhaps use that one because it's got a different amount of... now, this one is dead flush with the actual pin itself, so it would be very similar to being used as like this because they are effectively the same diameter, effectively. Or they can be turned and used like that. Ditto here. This one's actually got a lip on it, so it's bigger than the bore of the actual bench dog, so it can be turned and used like that, and that's what I used to make up the correct tolerance and that. So I know it's a bit convoluted. That I was using that and the 2040 rail, and of course it is 20 millimeters thick. But I need to be a little bit thinner. 18 millimetre, which this is, happens to be just a little bit too thin. But in combination with this bench dog, with that little lip on it, put it in, absolutely perfect. I was able to make a combination work to allow me to make my router effort spot on. And ditto for the orange ones, I've just popped them in there. They could be, you could rest up against them because they too have got a different overhang. So combining things, you might be able to affect the outcome that you want just using bench dogs instead of having to have one of those boxed router guide affair for doing this sort of work. Not saying it's going to work in every circumstance, but a certain number of these types of bench dogs could work in your favour. And as I was saying, even that one, which is 1/10 of a millimetre smaller than that one, did work in my favour. So amazing. The other thing is, if you've got something like this and you can run it through a thicknesser, you can keep these aside, mark them off, that they're, instead of 50 mil like this, or whatever, it could be 48 mils or 49 mils. Now let's just see what this one is. Oh, that's reading, oh, that was actually 50.001, 002. So I'm going to call that pretty darn accurate. And that was as a result of cutting them quite accurately on the track saw. And I was able to adjust the parallel arm to dial it in. So I got it reasonably accurate, down to a few hundredths of a millimetre. Not always going to be the case, but that's what you can do. And with the parallel arm system available, if I wanted to make that 49 millimetres instead of 50, I could put it in place, and I've got the correct distance for my router to push up against. So it's quite doable, isn't it? And you've already got the bench dogs for a multiple, for whatever purpose you want, and just choosing the right one, knowing that you've got them there, combine them, and away you go. It's like that one there, you can measure the diameter of it, and if it's, in this case, I think it was 30 mil, you can have that, put it in there, and you know it's got a 15 mil offset for this position here. In any other combinations, and I'm assuming that people will have different bench dogs than I've got, well, mic them up and see what they are. And with some reservations, I say you could probably, 3D print the equivalent, so you can print something like that up with a 32 or 37 mil of, diameter. Better still, and you do see them, you could have one that had different measurements for different positions that you've got it rotated to. I think that's got a lot going for it, and something that I would look at doing if I had a 3D printer. So, yeah, all very doable. I like the idea of having a system where it permits all these other items to be used, and that's where the MFT top, any MFT top, can be used in that same manner. I think the benefit of this is it's 100 mil spacings, and I think that's a nice thing for just general use. You'd have to do less maths, but it doesn't matter whether it's 96 or 100 or 75. I've seen some of the boards made up too. So yeah, just a thought. Bench dogs, different types, different tolerances, different outcomes to wind up getting the thing that you want, like I did. There you go. Rightio, that's it. Not much of one, but I just thought I'd include that as a springboard for maybe something that you want to look at yourself. Now, as I said in the previous video, tidy up the bench top, Dave. Yeah. Right, I'm going to do that. Right, see you in the next one now. Bye.